Samira, thank you for taking the time for this interview. So the context, Samira, I coached you in 2017. You were a new manager, and I thought of reconnecting with you. Especially, I had to take a bit of a break in my own business because I had a baby, and I thought of reconnecting with women, with international women, diverse women, because I know what it is to struggle on your own career and advance. And I thought of giving the voice to other women like you. So really international, foreign, diverse. I'm not going to give all the background. Myself, I'm Magali Toussaint. I'm a coach. I'm a leadership coach. I'm an executive coach. I focus on diversity. And when we worked, it was really the perfect match in terms of what you needed in terms of this coaching. Could you maybe introduce yourself and give a bit of a context on how we started to work together?
So my name is Samira Ahabri. I'm from Morocco, born and raised in Morocco. I live in the Netherlands. I'm a senior manager within a company called Equinix in the IT and technology industry. When I started working with YouDiverse, I was a manager without the senior part. And that was my first management position ever after only 3 years of working experience as an SDR, sales development representative. So you can imagine, the pressure I had on my shoulders, but more importantly, there was absolutely no time for trainings or coaching. It was directly the moment I got promoted, action. I started already working on escalations processes and getting the numbers delivered. So one of the things that came up to the mind of my manager is that maybe we can hire an external coach first, because the benefits of having someone external is that they can be neutral. I will be more comfortable to open up. I don't have, to take into consideration, what that person will feel, etc., etc. But my first answer was that I'm too busy. Sorry, I don't have time for trainings, for coaching. I'm just busy. But then I was thinking about it, and I said, I will always be busy. There will be always work and more work to be done later, the moment they know that I'm more experienced. So if I don't take time to invest in myself, to get proper coaching, to structure my qualities, to define my weaknesses and try to improve them, what's going to happen later is that I'm not going to be able to be aligned with the growth of the company and my team and everything around me. The world is evolving. It doesn't stop. And I will just find myself just doing the repetitive tasks, and I forgot myself, which will result in, of course, having my team suffering from that. And then again, it shows on the results as well. So I decided to go for it. And we worked with YouDiverse, who was being really challenging in a positive way. So even if I want to cancel and say, yeah, I'm very busy, no time. Of course, my coach stayed flexible and took into consideration the busy agenda, but never really gave up on me, even when I tried to give up on myself and say, let me just do my work. So that's the beginning of my journey with management and with YouDiverse.
Yeah, it's really interesting when you say YouDiverse, because I'm the founder of YouDiverse and I coached you. And it seems like YouDiverse is like my persona. It's not, and yeah, indeed, it's very interesting because you could end up working 24 hours a day. And at the end of the day, it's like, it's not worth it. We have to sleep. And the fact that now you're taking more steps towards, being the leader that you want to be, it's really great. And just to give a bit of background, I'm the founder of YouDiverse and we actually work together. So that was very interesting what you said. Really, when you think about leadership coaching, you think, oh, the hard things, the hard deadline. But indeed, coaching is different from psychology.
Yes.
But in a way, there's always the personal component, what blocks you to help you to move forward. Yeah. And it was very interesting what you said about self-sabotaging. When you think about your team and also how you're working, how you're being, what are the concrete change that has happened since we've worked together? It was 2 years ago, from the moment we started to now. Just tell us what has concretely changed because of coaching?
A lot of things changed, honestly, and I believe there are so many other things that still need to be worked on. So the work is not done yet, but the improvements were mainly about the fact that I acknowledge now that I have some things that are being an obstacle to my success, to actually being really open and close to my team and really seeing things beyond the deadlines and the numbers, because there are a lot of, things that plays a big role in the success of a team. It's not just the numbers. One of the things is acknowledging that I was really self-sabotaging myself. I'm always saying I'm not good enough. I don't think I can make it. So pushing myself back, becoming shy, stopping myself from actually being proactive and helping and doing more, limiting myself, which means limiting my team. And of course, it will have consequences on the business. Another more important thing for me was to recognize that sometimes under the pressure of the deadlines, escalations, unclear processes, issues in the team, sometimes conflicts because of diversity of the team, I get stressed and then I directly fall in what we call the red zone. So I become emotional, I block, I stress. So that was the first response that I used to have, but now I do my best in most of the cases. I still need to work on it, but most of the cases to remind myself of those tips and tricks that you shared with me to actually come a little bit closer to what we call the blue zone and be calmer, a little bit more logical, etc., etc. So those are some of the things that I actually saw some changes that happened, and it's really resulted in a good way and gave me also the power to empower team members around me and people around me, even in my family. So it's not just results that I see on a professional level, but changes that I could apply to my personal level as well.
It's very inspirational, and I really see like all the power that you have inside you. So just also talking from your heart. And indeed, you say something around, the self-sabotaging, not good enough. I mean, everybody have it somehow, but with women, especially women who are also different, so you're different from different ways. With I'm not good enough, I'm different, that's not really, I can't do this. Like, especially when you're in a new environment, you really go and you sabotage yourself because you have to prove more than others. And it's very beautiful to see like now you recognize it, you're human. I mean, we're all human. As much as I'm a coach, I'm also very aware that, all the stupid things I can make, I can stop it. I can make sure that also stupidity is a beautiful thing as being human. Why? Because failure makes us grow. And I'm really wondering what are the concrete results that you got from really working together in terms of job promotions, or, what is the concrete result that has happened because of you being more relaxed, less hard on yourself, being aware, leading your team? What has resulted from this?
The direct result is the recognitions from, all the leadership. I'm still receiving nice messages, not just from my manager, but the manager of the manager, the CSO, but also my last promotion. So from a manager, I was promoted to a senior manager, which is also a recognition that I've been doing a good job. And it was also, again, in a very short period of time. So that's the direct recognition that says, Samira, you're following the right way.
Celebration, like really, really well, because it's not easy and you're making it. Just because I know, like, as women, as international women, sometimes it can be hard. We have a goal, we achieve the objective, we go to the next step, and we don't really celebrate. How did you celebrate, or will you celebrate?
Actually, that's true. So for me, it's always the next step. It's not just like because I'm a woman, also the culture I come from, the way my parents raised me. So it was always, okay, what's next? So you are the first in your classroom, good. Think about next year. Think about work. Think about getting married, getting kids. There is always something in there. And sometimes celebrating it is perceived in my culture, or at least in my family to be specific, as if I accepted this as the max that I can give. And they make you feel guilty for celebrating. But now I'm like, no, I'm going to celebrate it even with small things, even a small dinner, or, just a spa day that I will book for myself, anything just to recognize that I did something. It can be a small achievement, really, like finishing a book, anything. And that's something I learned also during my sessions with You Diverse. Like my coach was always saying, what did you do to celebrate? Take a breath before you move to the next step. Because I'm always like, okay, I finished that. And now I'm thinking, like, wait, let's think about this moment. Recognize it, analyze it, reflect on it, celebrate, and then move on. So I learned it.
Wow, that's really great, because I can recognize from the beginning where you were very hard, and now it's still there. This ambition is still there, but you can take a break. But you didn't respond around the celebration. What did you do specifically to celebrate this this achievement? And I don't shy away from the question.
You know me very well. I always try to avoid the answer. But it was a nice dinner. So that was the main celebration. But I think I celebrated every time I can use the title to help someone or solve a problem at work or speak up like now. So that's my real celebration for me between us.
Oh, so continue like that, celebrate. And deep down, you're not going to become complacent. I hardly see you that way. And just when you think about your next step, and you told about next step celebration, every time you achieve a goal, you go to the next step, and now you learn to celebrate and relax. But if you really want to share and what you're comfortable of sharing, what is your next goal in terms of your career and where you want to be?
The funny part is most of the beautiful things that happened in my life, whether professional or personal, I had a vision about them, but I didn't nominate them. And I kept working on myself to be ready when the opportunity comes. But professionally, I learned that I have to have a goal and at the same time stay flexible. So in my mind, I would like to move to the next step when the time comes and become a director. That's, the shorter term, not very short. And then, but if we're looking at the longer term, I wouldn't mind a more global role where I can be exposed to different regions, different cultures, not just within EMEA. And why not C-level within Equinix or a similar company like Equinix, where you really need to work hard to climb the stairs to arrive to the C-level.
That's something, you can really work on, and it's step by step. It's like a baby,
Yeah, step by step.
And it's always good to have a vision, and dream and not stop yourself. And you always have people who tell you, oh no, but keep going. And when you think about this, what are your unique strengths and unique quality? And I really ask these questions because sometimes when we have this saboteur, we're not good enough, we don't recognize what we're good. And for you, just to share your unique strengths, what they are, how did you find your strengths, and what are they for you to also go to the next level? Yeah.
Yeah, so this question was like, for me, the question that I hate, and that's a strong word, I know, in any interviews with my managers, anything, because I was never comfortable speaking about my qualities myself. I wouldn't mind someone talking about them, but not me. But during our sessions, I learned to recognize them, not because I want to show off and talk about them, not because I want to talk really about what I'm good at, but just to recognize them and try to use them for the best, for the company, for the team, for others, and also for myself at the end. So some of the qualities that I'm gonna focus on are the fact that I'm determined. So yes, I used to self-sabotage myself, but the determination, helped a little bit. Yes, of course, in between you find, too determined, self-sabotaging, so a stressful level, but we worked on that during the sessions. So determined, responsible. So like all my managers know that they can count on me, my team members, they know it. I know that if I have something on my shoulders, I'm gonna get it done. If I don't know, I will learn, I will use help. Responsible. Empathy. I think that's one of my unique selling points, and that's helped a lot to create really a trusted relationship with most of my team members, and that's encouraged them more to give more, to deliver more, to not just do their job, but also, you know, help others and empower others as well, because they see that we have this nice close relationship, so they don't want to disappoint me. And there isn't really a bigger motivation than really understanding their feelings and having empathy at the right time, of course. I think those are the main qualities that's helped me a lot: empathy, being responsible, and determined.
I also hear like you're a hustler, like you're hustling, like I don't know it, I'm
Of
going to
course.
find a way. Like, you
Yeah.
know, not like this, you know, but here this saboteur, but also this, you know, I'll do it no matter what, you know, like this determination. And
Yeah.
that's really the beauty of succeeding, because sometimes we didn't know how to walk, but we didn't say, oh my God, I'm not going to walk because everybody walks, I don't walk. Like, we just go and try. What I want to ask you is, because now you achieved a certain level and you will continue growing, what advice do you have to international women and diverse women in your situation who are maybe not yet managers or maybe not yet leaders, or who want to grow in their leadership position? They're already like managing a team, but they really want to grow. What advice do you have to give them for them to keep growing and also advancing in their career?
I will try to summarize, because I think the advice can be really of like 1 hour session and it depends from a person to another. But in general, I would say believe in yourself and do the I can do it attitude. We all self-sabotage, like you said, you know, men, women, you know, it doesn't matter which gender we are, which culture, but some genders, some cultures self-sabotage more. Just go ahead and do it, and keep in mind that there are so many resources out there that can help you when you don't know what to do. So either internally, if you are in a company, they can help you, or externally by hiring, you know, a coach. Second thing is to be open when you seek for help. Be open. Don't try to pretend to be the perfect person. Don't focus only on the negative areas. Just be open, be honest, be open for challenges and for the change and advice, and challenge yourself, challenge your coach as well, you know. Another advice, and that's the last one for now, otherwise I will go on and on without stopping, is to get to know yourself. Really get to know your personality, your background, your culture, and how it's affecting you, because there are definitely some strengths, you know, that you learn from this culture, from your family, from your childhood, etc. There are some other areas that can affect also your day-to-day at work or personally. If you've been bullied, you know, at work, at school, etc., you know, all those things need to be analyzed, and you need to acknowledge what are the consequences of these, you know, if you don't work on them. Get to know yourself, get to know your strengths, your weaknesses, try to improve them, challenge yourself, stay open. Pieces of advice that I can give.
That's great. And I can see that it's coming from your heart. And the good thing is with that, with leadership, it's really like, you know, you have to know the skills. And most of the people who just get, you know, promoted to a certain level, they know what they're doing. But we forget that we are emotional people in logical environments. And what you're saying is really being open to be challenged, focusing on yourself, focusing on your own emotions. Like, you have to take off your own emotions, you know, because we have a lot of leaders, they are really good at what they're doing and they're like horrible with people. And nowadays you will be targeted, or you will be like kept accountable for your emotions or your result and how you behave with people. So I really want to thank you for really opening up about your personal experience. And I know it's not always easy to talk about yourself, but the beautiful thing is, especially nowadays, like in a pandemic situation, we need hope. I know you, and you're very inspirational. You can really inspire a lot of people. So I thought about you as really a model, and I hope a lot of people will get inspired by what you said and what you do, and keep going. Now you have a lot of people who will watch you.
Yes.
We continue growing. Anything else before we conclude?
No, I just want to thank you for inviting me. And I just want to mention also that it's not like it's the end of the work. You know, there's a lot of work that's needs to be done. And perfection is absolutely not the aim, because I think one of the things that makes me really unique at work is that I'm being myself. And by being yourself, really, you can achieve so many things instead of actually pretending to be someone else or pretending to apply, you know, what you read in the books. Just try to be yourself, but just work on it to be a better self. That's my last advice. And thank you for your compliments and for the support I had and for inviting me.